Hello everyone, welcome. My name is Phoenix and this is the Consumer's Guide to Filmmaking. Wake Up Dead Man, a Knives Out mystery. 2025, Rian Johnson. Once again, following private sleuth Benoit Blanc, Benoit is brought to upstate New York to look into the murder of Monsignor Jefferson Wicks. The town all point the finger at one man, Father Jude Duplicity, the new priest that joined the church. While in his heart, Benoit knows that Father Jude is innocent, Benoit must follow the clues nonetheless to find out who killed Monsignor Wicks in order to bring them to justice. Another comfy Rian Johnson murder mystery was on the menu here, and suffice it to say, I was very much amused by this latest entry into the Knives Out franchise. I will hear no aspersions, none, towards Rian Johnson's ability as a director. Like, you can hate Star Wars Episode 8 all you want. Like, I hate Star Wars Episode 8. Seriously though, like, get over it. That movie came out 10 years ago. You know who you are if you're watching this. Like, seriously. Like, Episode 8 was a dumpster fire. But to base your opinion on this man's ability on that singular disaster does a disservice to this guy. The man directed some of the best episodes of Breaking Bad, and these Knives Out movies have always showcased his ability well. Johnson has a hell of a flair when it comes to the visual elements. The camera movements were slick and the frames were solid. The man has a keen eye for cool lighting and color choices also, even if at times they could be corny as all hell. I loved the shots in this film that looked like they were being put through a piece of stained glass, where 2/3 of it was tinted like red or blue, but the subject was in the center in plain lighting. It was a pretty neat choice. There was also a dream sequence that was lit in these flashing strobe lights, and that was quite unnerving to watch. The corny moments I mentioned came through when Benoit was given his corny-ass speech at the end, and a bright bit of sun came through the stained glass like God was shining on him. That was a bit much for me. Much like any good mystery movie, the editing here is key, and Wake Up Dead Man has some serviceable editing. Johnson, with editor Bob Duxay, knew what shots to use when and how to reveal information. Before that strobe light dream sequence, there was this jarring shot of a fist coming at Father Jude before cutting to black and the strobe starting. Wake Up Dead Man is a visually solid little movie, I must say. The original music by Nathan Johnson is full of bombastic string melodies, the sort that you would expect from a blustery Victorian-esque murder mystery sort of story. While it didn't exactly leap out at me, it set the right mood for the film. What I was a fan of, though, was ending the film on Tom Waits. Come On Up to the House is one of the quintessential slow stomper album closers for that man, and it was lyrically fitting for the note this film ends on. Really good stuff. But where I think this film just doesn't quite click for me is the script. A sort of doubling down on elements from Glass Onion, Rian Johnson attempts to inject more social commentary and thoughtful ideas into this caper. While I can admire that, I just didn't feel that he was saying anything of substance. It was a lot of surface level commentary on our polarized political system and religion, and I also tried to weave that surface level commentary into a statement about Blanc's character, but it kind of amounted to nothing really. The murder mystery itself, though, is enough to carry these movies. Even if Glenn Close's monologue at the end of the film was kind of garish and lasted too long, the caper itself was tied together very nicely. These films aren't subtle or anything with how they exposit information, but on a nuts and bolts level, they get the job done in a brisk and entertaining enough manner. The ensemble cast of Daniel Craig, Josh Brolin, Josh O'Connor, Glenn Close, Jeremy Renner, Mila Kunis, Kerry Washington, Andrew Scott, and so many more give every character a solid and distinct personality. Craig honestly seems to be having so much fun as this character, so I'm glad he'll have a consistent gig for the foreseeable future. So like, if Rian Johnson wants to make fucking Knives Out movies like James Cameron just wants to make Avatar, that's perfectly fine. Wake Up Dead Man was a perfectly acceptable and amusing entry into this series. It showcases Rian's talent as a director so well. But in terms of writing, Rian Johnson's more ambitious ideas with this film just really didn't pan out like he wanted them to, despite the cast doing really well with the material handed to them. In conclusion, it was another fun little caper, and if you dig these sorts of things, keep this film on your radar. It makes for a good, relaxing movie night. And I am feeling a 6 out of 10 on this one. Perfectly okay film. Catch you later, guys.